can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all of my life. Oh Lord, can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Well, if you told me you were drowning, I would not lend a hand. I've seen your face before, my friend. I don't know if you know who I am, but I was there and I saw what you did. Saw it with my own two eyes. So you can wipe off that grin. I know where you've been. It's all been a pack of lies, and I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all of my life. Oh Lord, can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all of my life. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Well, I remember, don't worry. How could I ever forget? It's the first time, the last time we ever met. But I know the reasons why you keep your silence up. No, you don't fool me, 'cause the hurt doesn't show, but the pain still grows. It's no stranger to you and me. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all of my life. Oh Lord, can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all of my life. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
Got me thinking about my full-time employees and their ability to survive on $8 an hour in New York City. And foremost in all of our minds has been the loss and the grief felt by the people of Orlando. Most of us don't get our health care through the marketplace. We get it through our job or through Medicare or Medicaid. And what you should know is that thanks to the Affordable Care Act, your coverage is better today than it was before. Women can get free checkups, and you can't get charged more just for being a woman. To give his employees hope together to pass a common, there's a bill that would boost America's very, very hard times.
Some progress, at least within the small confines of the legal community. I think it's real important.
Here we go. President Barack Obama, when you're giving a speech, make sure you use a lot of pauses.
America's businesses have created 14.5 million new jobs over 75 straight months.
We're developing technology. Every technology can be used in some negative way, and so we all should work towards making sure that it's not going to happen. And even one of the interesting directions is that once you know how to create something, you know how to reverse engineer it. And so you can, and so one could create methods for identifying edited videos versus real videos.
Pesky little editor to do all your work for you because you're too lazy to do it on your own, because now we could just do it this way.
No offense to any Sives that might be watching this video.
I just might have found the actual holy grail when it comes to being able to produce videos without even having to lay a finger on your keyboard or mouse to be able to get anything done. Now, within the next given moments, I'm going to be showing you a quick clip of a video that I filmed just earlier that I'm going to be putting to the test to see how well it could be edited. Now, this video was purposely shot kind of chaotically and without any organization, with lots of long pauses in between talking, kind of like the way that I talk normally, because I don't know how to say things right. And then everything after the given point in the video where I'm going to purposely put in a manually edited thing, which will tell you that the video is no longer being edited by me. The rest of this video that you're watching will also be edited by this AI as well. First, I would like to introduce myself, Dallas, aka Inferness. Welcome to the Tech Realm, and you'll get 10 years of good luck if you tap that red subscribe button. Right now, I'm going to show you this video, not edited whatsoever. Let go.
Okay, so this is the test video that I am going to be sending to this robot to edit. I am purposely making mistakes and not talking fluently because I wanted to fix it and see if it can do a good job. I hope it doesn't do a better job than me, considering I have a lot of skill and training. But this will be exactly 30 seconds. This will be exactly 30 seconds right now. Okay, good.
So this is an example of a video that's going to be pretty simple for this demonstration, and I'm going to put this to the test with this automatic video editor constructed using only an AI. So basically, we're going to be making a virtual Siri robot Alexa version of a Sive. And maybe, just maybe, I'll win the Nobel Prize. Now, before I jump to the point in the video where...
fellow Americans, tonight, I'd like to talk to you about where we are as we mark 1 year since everything stopped because of this pandemic. A year ago, we were hit with a virus that was met with silence and spread unchecked. Denials for days, weeks, then months. That led to more deaths, more infections, more stress, and more loneliness. Photos and videos from 2019 feel like they were taken in another era. The last vacation, the last birthday with friends, the last holiday with extended family. While it was different for everyone, we all lost something. A collective suffering, a collective sacrifice. A year filled with the loss of life and the loss of living for all of us. But in the loss, we saw how much there was to gain in appreciation, respect, and gratitude. Finding light in the darkness is a very American thing to do. In fact, it may be the most American thing we do. And that's what we've done. We've seen frontline and essential workers risking their lives, sometimes losing them, to save and help others. researchers and scientists racing for a vaccine, and so many of you, as Hemingway wrote, being strong in all the broken places. I know it's been hard. I truly know. As I've told you before, I carry a card in my pocket with the number of Americans who have died from COVID to date. It's on the back of my schedule. As of now, total deaths in America, 527,726. That's more deaths than in World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War, and 9/11 combined. Your husbands, wives, sons and daughters, grandparents, friends, neighbors, young and old. They leave behind loved ones, unable to truly grieve or to heal, even to have a funeral. But I'm also thinking about everyone else who lost this past year to natural causes, by cruel fate of accident or other disease. They too died alone. They too leave behind loved ones who are hurting badly. You know, you've often heard me say before, I talk about the longest walk any parent can make is up a short flight of stairs to his child's bedroom. Say, I'm sorry, I lost my job. Can't be here anymore. Like my dad told me when he lost his job in Scranton. So many of you have had to make that same walk this past year. You lost your job. You closed your business. Facing eviction, homelessness, hunger, a loss of control, maybe worst of all, a loss of hope. Watching a generation of children who may be set back up to a year or more because they've not been in school because of their loss of learning. It's the details of life that matter the most. And we miss those details, the big details and the small moments. Weddings, birthdays, graduations, all the things that needed to happen, but didn't. The first date, the family reunions, the Sunday night rituals. It's all has exacted a terrible cost on the psyche of so many of us. For we are fundamentally a people who want to be with others, to talk, to laugh, to hug, to hold one another. But this virus has kept us apart. Grandparents haven't seen their children or grandchildren. Parents haven't seen their kids. Kids haven't seen their friends. The things we used to do that always filled us with joy have become things we couldn't do and broke our hearts. Too often, we've turned against one another. A mask, the easiest thing to do to save lives. Sometimes it divides us. States pitted against one another instead of working with each other. Vicious hate crimes against Asian Americans who've been attacked, harassed, blamed, and scapegoated. At this very moment, so many of them are fellow Americans. They're on the front lines of this pandemic trying to save lives. And still, they're forced to live in fear for their lives just walking down streets in America. It's wrong, it's un-American, and it must stop. Look, we know what we need to do to beat this virus. Tell the truth. Follow the scientists and the science. Work together. Put trust and faith in our government to fulfill its most important function, which is protecting the American people. No function more important. We need to remember the government isn't some foreign force in a distant capital. No, it's us, all of us. We the people. For you and I, that America thrives when we give our hearts, when we turn our hands to common purpose. And right now, my friends, we're doing just that. And I have to say, as your president, I'm grateful to you. Last summer, I was in Philadelphia and I met a small business owner, a woman. I asked her, I said, "What do you need most?" Never forget what she said to me. She said, looking me in the eye, she said, "I just want the truth. The truth. Just tell me the truth." Think of that. My fellow Americans, you're owed nothing less than the truth. And for all of you asking when things will get back to normal, here is the truth. The only way to get our lives back, to get our economy back on track, is to beat the virus. You've been hearing me say that for while I was running and the last 50 days I've been president. But this is one of the most complex operations we've ever undertaken as a nation in a long time. That's why I'm using every power I have as President of the United States to put us on a war footing to get the job done. Sounds like hyperbole, but I mean it, a war footing. And thank God we're making some real progress now. In my first full day in office, I outlined for you a comprehensive strategy to beat this pandemic. We've spent every day since attempting to carry it out. 2 months ago, this country didn't have nearly enough vaccine supply to vaccinate all or ever near all of the American public. But soon we will. We've been working with vaccine manufacturers, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, to manufacture and purchase hundreds of millions of doses of these 3 safe, effective vaccines. And now, at the direction and with the assistance of my administration, Johnson & Johnson is working together with a competitor, Merck, to speed up and increase the capacity to manufacture new Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is one shot. In fact, just yesterday, I announced, and I met with the CEOs of both companies, I announced our plan to buy an additional 100 million doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccines. These 2 companies, competitors, have come together for the good of the nation, and they should be applauded for it. It's truly a national effort, just like we saw during World War II. Now, because all the work we've done, we'll have enough vaccine supply for all adults in America by the end of May. That's months ahead of schedule. And we're mobilizing thousands of vaccinators to put the vaccine in one's arm, calling active duty military, FEMA, retired doctors and nurses, administrators, and those to administer the shots. And we've been creating more places to get the shots. We've made it possible for you to get a vaccine at nearly any one of 10,000 pharmacies across the country, just like you get your flu shot. We're also working with governors and mayors in red states and blue states to set up and support nearly 600 federally supported vaccination centers that administers hundreds of thousands of shots per day. You can drive up to a stadium or a large parking lot, get your shot, never leave your car, and drive home in less than an hour. We've been sending vaccines to hundreds of community health centers all across America, located in underserved areas. And we've been deploying, and we will deploy more mobile vehicles and pop-up clinics to meet you where you live, so those who are least able to get the vaccine are able to get it. We continue to work on making at-home testing available. And we've been focused on serving people in the hardest hit communities of this pandemic: Black, Latino, Native American, and rural communities. So what does all this add up to? When I took office 50 days ago, only 8% of Americans, after months, only 8% of those over the age of 65 had gotten their first vaccination. Today, that number is 65%. Just 14% of Americans over the age of 75 50 days ago had gotten their first shot. Today, that number is well over 70%. With new guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, that came out on Monday, it means simply this: millions and millions of grandparents who went months without being able to hug their grandkids can now do so. And the more people are fully vaccinated, the CD will continue to provide additional guidance on what you can do in the workplace, places of worship with your friends, as well as travel. When I came into office, you may recall, I set a goal that many of you said was kind of way over the top. I said I intended to get 100 million shots in people's arms in my first 100 days in office. Tonight, I can say we're not only going to meet that goal, we're going to beat that goal, because we've actually on track to reach this goal of 100 million shots in arms on my 60th day in office. No other country in the world has done this. None. Now, I want to talk about the next steps we're thinking about. First, tonight, I'm announcing that I will direct all states, tribes, and territories to make all adults, people 18 and over, eligible to be vaccinated no later than May 1. Let me say that again. All adult Americans will be eligible to get a vaccine no later than May 1. That's much earlier than expected. Let me be clear. That doesn't mean everyone's going to have that shot immediately, but it means you'll be able to get in line beginning May 1. Every adult will be eligible to get their shot. And to do this, we're going to go from 1 million shots a day that I promised in December, before I was sworn in, to beating our current pace of 2 million shots a day, outpacing the rest of the world. Secondly, at the time when every adult is eligible in May, we will launch, with our partners, new tools to make it easier for you to find the vaccine and where to get the shot, including a new website that will help you first find the place to get vaccinated and the one nearest you. No more searching day and night for an appointment for you and your loved ones. Thirdly, with the passage of the American Rescue Plan, and I thank again the House and Senate for passing it, and my announcement last month of a plan to vaccinate teachers and school staff, including bus drivers, we can accelerate massive nationwide effort to reopen our schools safely and meet my goal that I stated at the same time, about 100 million shots, of opening a majority of K through 8 schools in my first 100 days in office. This is going to be the #1 priority of my new Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona. Fourth, in the coming weeks, we will issue further guidance on what you can and cannot do once fully vaccinated, to lessen the confusion, to keep people safe, and encourage more people to get vaccinated. And finally, fifth, and maybe most importantly, I promise I will do everything in my power. I will not relent until we beat this virus. But I need you, the American people. I need you. I need every American to do their part. And that's not hyperbole. I need you. I need you to get vaccinated when it's your turn and when you can find an opportunity. And to help your family, your friends, your neighbors get vaccinated as well. Because here's the point. If we do all this, if we do our part, if we do this together, by July the 4th, there's a good chance you, your families and friends will be able to get together in your backyard or in your neighborhood and have a cookout or a barbecue and celebrate Independence Day. That doesn't mean large events with lots of people together, but it does mean small groups will be able to get together. After this long, hard year, that will make this Independence Day something truly special, where we not only mark our independence as a nation, but we begin to mark our independence from this virus. But to get there, we can't let our guard down. This fight is far from over. As I told the woman in Pennsylvania, I'll tell you the truth. A July 4th with your loved ones is the goal. But a lot can happen. Conditions can change. The scientists have made clear that things may get worse again as new variants of the virus spread. We've got work to do to ensure that everyone has confidence in the safety and effectiveness of all 3 vaccines. So my message to you is this: listen to Dr. Fauci, one of the most distinguished and trusted voices in the world. He's assured us the vaccines are safe. They underwent rigorous scientific review. I know they're safe. Vice President Harris and I know they're safe. That's why we got the vaccine publicly in front of cameras, so for the world to see, so you could see us do it. The First Lady and the Second Gentleman also got vaccinated. Talk to your family, friends, your neighbors, the people you know best who've gotten the vaccine. We need everyone to get vaccinated. We need everyone to keep washing their hands, stay socially distanced, and keep wearing the mask as recommended by the CDC. Because even if we devote every resource we have, beating this virus and getting back to normal depends on national unity. And national unity isn't just how politics and politicians vote in Washington, what the loudest voices say on cable or online.
That's what Hitler used to say. We need national unity.
What we do together as fellow Americans. Because if we don't stay vigilant and the conditions change, then we may have to reinstate restrictions to get back on track. And please, we don't want to do that again. We've made so much progress. This is not the time to let up. Just as we were emerging from a dark winter into a hopeful spring and summer is not the time to not stick with the rules. I'll close with this. We've lost so much over the last year. We've lost family and friends. We've lost businesses and dreams we spent years building. We've lost time with each other. And our children have lost so much time with their friends, time with their schools. No graduation ceremonies this spring. No graduations from college, high school, moving up ceremonies. You know, and there's something else we lost. We lost faith in whether our government and our democracy can deliver on really hard things for the American people. But as I stand here tonight, we're proving once again something I've said time and time again, to the probably tired of hearing me say it. I say it to foreign leaders and domestic alike. It's never, ever a good bet to bet against the American people. America is coming back. The development, manufacture, and distribution of vaccines in record time is a true miracle of science. It's one of the most extraordinary achievements any country has ever accomplished. We also just saw the Perseverance rover land on Mars. Stunning images.
Greenland.
Of our dreams that are now a reality. Another example of the extraordinary American ingenuity, commitment, and belief in science and one another. And today, I signed into law the American Rescue Plan, an historic piece of legislation that delivers immediate relief to millions of people. Includes $1,400 in direct rescue checks, payments. That means a typical family of 4 earning about $110,000 will get checks for $5,600 deposited if they have direct deposit or in a check, a treasury check. It extends unemployment benefits. It helps small businesses. It lowers healthcare premiums for many. It provides food and nutrition, keeps families in their homes. And it will cut child poverty in this country in half, according to the experts. And it funds all the steps I've just described to beat the virus and create millions of jobs. In the coming weeks and months, I'll be traveling along with the First Lady, the Vice President, the Second Gentleman, members of my cabinet, to speak directly to you, to tell you the truth about how the American Rescue Plan meets the moment. And if it fails at any pace, I will acknowledge that it failed, but it will not. About how after long, dark years, one whole year, there is hope and light of better days ahead. If we all do our part, this country will be vaccinated soon. Our economy will be on the mend. Our kids will be back in school. And we'll have proven once again that this country can do anything, hard things, big things, important things. Over a year ago, no one could have imagined what we were about to go through. But now, we're coming through it. And it's a shared experience that binds us together as a nation. We are bound together by the loss and the pain of the days that have gone by. We're also bound together by the hope and the possibilities of the days in front of us. My fervent prayer for our country is that after all we've been through, we'll come together as one people, one nation, one America. I believe we can and we will. We're seizing this moment. And history, I believe, will record. We faced and overcame one of the toughest and darkest periods in this nation's history. Darkest we've ever known. I promise you, we'll come out stronger with a renewed faith in ourselves, a renewed commitment to one another, to our communities and to our country. This is the United States of America. And there's nothing, from the bottom of my heart, I believe this, there's nothing we can't do when we do it together. So God bless you all. And please, God, give solace to all those people who lost someone. And may God protect our troops. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I look forward to seeing you.
President Biden, do you consider this a new phase of the pandemic?
No questions. But before we get to the commentary, just a slight commentary, let's continue watching how that video did, that AI video did, with the guy stuttering and speaking without speaking, right? Remember that video? Let me share that again because you must watch this before we go into some commentary. I hope that thinking about it, you can remember I noted where the changes were, where Alice stepped in. And it's quite fascinating, Let's get this so you can see this. Let me rewind to what he said.
This will be exactly 30 seconds right now. Okay, good.
So this is an example of a video that's going to be pretty simple for this demonstration, and I'm going to put this to the test with this automatic video editor constructed using only an AI. So basically, we're going to be making a virtual Siri robot Alexa version of a scythe. And maybe, just maybe, I'll win the Nobel Prize. Now, before I jump to the point in the video where everything after is going to be edited by this AI as well, along with the clip that I just showed you, I would like to explain how I did this. First, I literally just searched it up because I didn't know how else to find it. And the first result came up like this. Now, what I did was I hired someone on Fiverr to look through all of the details of the numbers and the technical jargon that's in here and tell me exactly what it means. And then he told me how to fix it and make it work with my particular video editor. So I did that. And now all that I have to do is just open up my video editor, press the start button on the console command, and then whatever video clips are in here, it's going to edit away to the best of its ability, along with my voice and a whole bunch of random images that I'm going to be giving it to hopefully allow it to understand which are the most relevant to be put into the video at the given points after the point that's coming up now, where I will no longer be editing this. So now that you understand how all this works, I guess it's about that time. Without further ado, by the count of 3, you're going to be seeing this clip's automatically edited version, along with all of the other detailed analysis that I recorded afterwards, and all of the given photos and video content that I supplied the AI, all put together without me even touching the screen. And that's going to start right now. Okay, so here we are. I have the program running. I have notes on the computer right now, and pretty choppy. I don't really know exactly its strategy on how it does it, but it appears it knows what it's doing, apparently. I just don't know how it knows what it's doing. By the way, this video that you're seeing right here, no hands, right? This video is going to also be edited by the thing later on when I put this clip that you're seeing into this, clearly doing it. I just don't have any idea how. It's actually kind of creep. Never seen anything like this before in my whole life. This thing is actually kind of scaring me. It seems like there's literally someone on the other end of my PC, my literal PC, just having a mind of its own now. And don't blame me if this footage is all fricked up a tiny bit, because, well, I'm not the one doing it. So, okay, you can't just put all the blame on me with that. So I'm gonna actually show you the final result of the first clip that I made earlier and showed you earlier, and I'm gonna see how it turned out. Okay, so this is the test video that I am going to send this robot to. I am making mistakes and not talking fluently because I want it to fix and see if it can do a good job. I hope it doesn't do a better job than me, considering I have a lot of skill and training. But this will be exactly 30 seconds right now. Okay, good. So this will be my concluding notes on the results on the AI's created videos from the clips that I used, and basically, from my own opinion, by the way, this is also still being edited by the AI as we speak. So, yeah, it's gonna go all the way to the very end of the video, up until when the outro plays. That's the only thing I'm going to personally edit at the end of this thing. My own opinion on the way it turned out is, it looks pretty good. If you want to have 1,000 jump cuts every single seconds or something like that, and or you just want to, you know, have a video editor that kind of makes you look like you took a nap right after getting a concussion or something, because honestly it just makes you sound a little bit like you just can't say anything correctly. But honestly, if you give it enough photos, as you could probably see by well, the way the video is being created right now, because I didn't add photos in, every single thing is being apparently automatically chosen, and that's based on, well, whatever the way this whole thing works. All I can say is whoever designed this program, good job. You definitely tried, and I appreciate. At the very least, you're better than what I was when I first got started out making any kind of video, Movie Maker and MS Paint. Definitely, you can learn some skills from this thing. Wrap up the video, and I don't know what the end of this thing is going to look like, except for when I manually put in the outro and the music. Yeah, what you're seeing right now is all I can guess. I downloaded over 8,000 photos from a stock clip art website that are random. I honestly have no idea what you're seeing right now. But nevertheless, this is the end of the video. Hopefully, you're not being offended or seeing things that are not safe for. I'll see every one of you in the next video, and hopefully it will be not created by AI. But yeah, until then, I'm going to edit in the outro, and thanks for watching. Everything up until this point in about 5 seconds has been edited by an AI, and goodbye. Whoa, you're probably asking yourself what you just watched, and to be
Right.
honest, I don't have an answer for you.
So the skipping part and the duplication of the speech was purposeful because it wasn't fluent. And that was a video that was done with no editing. None. Well, here's how you can spot, they say, a deep fake AI video. Let's take a look at this. Sorry. I'm dying of laughing right now.
Is saying anything and
Hold on. Sorry. It's like it was so bad what they put out.
we're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time.
Jordan Peele created this fake video of President Obama to demonstrate how easy it is to put words in someone else's mouth.
Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet.
Not everyone bought it, but the technology behind such frauds is rapidly improving, even as worries increase about their potential for harm. This is your Bloomberg Quick Take on deepfakes. Deepfakes, or realistic-looking fake videos and audio, gained popularity as a means of adding famous actresses into porn scenes. Despite bans on major websites, they remain easy to make and find. They're named for the deep learning artificial intelligence algorithms that make them possible. Input real audio or video of a specific person, the more the better, and the software tries to recognize patterns in speech and movement. Introduce a new element like someone else's face or voice, and a deep fake is born.
It's actually extremely easy to make one of these things. There were just some breakthroughs from academic researchers who work with this particular kind of machine learning in the past few weeks, which would drastically reduce the amount of video you need actually to create one of these.
Programs like FakeApp, the most popular and widely available for making deep fakes, need dozens of hours of human assistance to create a video that looks like this rather than this. In August, researchers at Carnegie Mellon revealed software that accurately rendered not just facial features, but changing weather patterns and flowers in bloom. This advance is not yet available to the public. But with increasing capability comes increasing concern.
This is kind of fake news on steroids, potentially. We do not know of a case yet where someone has tried to use this to perpetrate a kind of fraud or an information warfare campaign, or for that matter, to really damage someone's reputation. But it's the danger that everyone is really afraid of.
In a world where fakes are easy to create, authenticity also becomes easier to deny. People caught doing genuinely objectionable things could claim evidence against them is bogus. Fake videos can also be difficult to detect, though researchers around the world and at the US Department of Defense have said they're working on ways to counter them. Deep fakes do, however, have some positive uses. Take Cereproc, a firm that creates digital voices for people who lose theirs from disease.
Speech synthesis is the artificial production of human speech.
There are also applications that could be considered either good or bad, like the many, many deepfakes that exist solely to turn as many movies as possible into Nicolas Cage movies.
Oh, hi, Mark.
So I don't know if you guys noticed it. They had a nice touch with the reporter asking questions, but there were points in there where he said we should trust the scientists to science. It was a double. That was a digital edit. That was one. Sorry. Damn it. So that was one. And then he would be like, the truth, just the truth. So that's another one. He was talking about the people and how it's going to go to the public. It was pretty intense, the way he would, his voice was digitized and how he would repeat himself. And the hand movements were something he would do, like they had him lean in at times and it was very abnormal. You could see that it was not a normal movement. But I'm going to tell you what I heard there. That the economy is not going to get better until we apparently beat the virus. And the only way to beat the virus is with everyone being vaccinated, according to Biden. And it was very smart of them to vaccinate teachers and bus drivers first. Because, those of you that are parents know that even if you don't vaccinate your kids, when kids go back to school, most of them go and get that damn flu shot. And guess what? Then the kids that get the shot shed and everybody at home gets sick, right? Everybody at home gets sick. Why? Because they're shedding. So here is how the children will carry the shedding for you. They may not be affected, but this is how they increase a flu. So what they want to do is get everybody sick, right? Everybody's sick. So that way they can start thumping up this vaccine narrative. Not only that, if you heard correctly, he said after May 1st, I'll tell you what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. What you're allowed to do and not allowed to do? Wait a minute. Are you saying who's allowed to do things who got a vaccine and who's not allowed to do things because they got vaccine? Oh, and make sure that all of you get the vaccine. Even your neighbors, you go find them and you get them to get their vaccine. And we have gotten vaccinators, so they're training people to vaccinate. FEMA, retired doctors and nurses to come out and jab it in the arm. You'll just go by in a car and they'll just do it. We will have FEMA centers that you will go to and get this done. But they declared war, didn't they? He told you they are. You want nothing but the truth. The truth. He kept stressing the truth. with lies and lies and more lies. In order to get our economy back, we need to defeat the virus. We're going to be doing a war footing, war. This is war. So guess what? According to them, if you don't get the vaccination, you're an enemy in this war. See, this is where you fight back. We're working with governors and mayors to have federal vaccine centers, 100,000 a day. Did you hear his World War II reference? Not just the fact that he said unity, but he said kind of like World War II. What? Huh. So here's the thing. We couldn't have IDs because people were too stupid to have IDs for voting. You know, black people and, Indians and all these people, they're just so stupid. They can't have an ID to vote. But they're going to have an ID to get a vaccine. And once you get a vaccine, guess what? You get an ID. How does that work? See, that's it. The yellow stars have come. And I spoke of these yellow stars in March last year. I spoke of the Nazis in March and April. Told you how Antifa are their foot soldiers, and here come the stars. And here we are. So this movie has already been written. The thing is, which double feature do you want? And this is where you anticipate and get things done. So we just saw AI at its finest. The video you saw from the young man and the app from the Bloomberg Minute thing were just apps. You think they're going to just run it through an app? They're going to hire the best video editors money can buy. They run it through an algorithm. It spits out a movie, and then they edit it for you. This was all pre-recorded. Nice touch with the reporter, right, guys? Can anyone identify the voice of the reporter? Because I can guarantee you, if we track her phone, she's nowhere near that conference. It's quite interesting how things happen. War. He said it. War. We're going to get a war footing. He called it war. If you refuse the vaccine, you are now an enemy in this war. That is it. He's already told the world, we're going to tell you what you can and cannot do. I'm sorry, but on paper, I am a citizen of the United States and I'm afforded rights. Nobody tells me what I can and cannot do unless it's breaking the law. And then the question is, will they pass a law making it illegal to not get a vaccine? Or will they pass a law that says that private businesses can discriminate against you? I mean, private businesses that claim aren't publishers are acting like publishers and already denying you the right to be able to post there. Private businesses in Texas like Walmart and Whole Foods are saying you can't enter without a mask, yet your state has issued a mandate that says no masks, yet people are still complying. This is where you need to step up. This is why I need the Texans to step up. This is why you should be writing to your AG and saying that they are discriminating against you for not wearing an article of clothing. You need this now. And every other state where a governor will step up and say, no problem. I have no problem. No masks, no mandates. Nobody can be forced to wear a mask on any city or federal property in my state cannot be forced to wear a mask. Any governor that says that, any mandate put out, well, you need to step up. Remember, the only people that are worthy of freedom are those willing to fight for it. Now, What are you going to do? Sit on your ass and hope that 5 people will sit there and send an email? Or will you send that damn email to your AG and say, this business does not allow me to enter without a mask. I understand they're a private business. Therefore, they are discriminating against me for not wearing an article of clothing. I demand they get held accountable because it is unconstitutional and they should not be getting any tax benefits or allowed to operate in my state if they are violating my constitutional rights and discriminating against me. It's pretty simple. It is pretty simple. That's all you have to say. Because these businesses get tax, benefits because they provide jobs. This is where each state that says no mask mandates fines the shit out of them on a daily basis until they shut down, pack up, and go. But they'll be going to court. That's okay. Until the court's done, the court will say, they say it's discrimination. You have to validate it. I'm sorry. Last time I checked on the Constitution, health, Dr. Fauci, or the CDC, which is a private organization, by the way, there's 2 of them. One that is funded and paid in private by private donors and Congress. Look that shit up. They have no say in our constitutional rights. The only people that do are legislators. And right now we have Democrats in there. I suggest we get cracking. I'm going to hit up, like we said, Ohio's very important. Can you see? Oh, shall I say I told you so? I don't need to do that. We already know that every single one of you is playing an integral part in our revolution, which is to take our nation back. He started it. He led us. Now we need to follow through. He's one man with the whole world against him. But with all of us fighting alongside of him to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, they will fail. They have failed. So you just got to get stuff done. The AG of Texas is there for you. Send him an email. Put it down. Tell him that they violated, they discriminated against you for not wearing an article of clothing. Remember, article of clothing. They cannot justify that it helps against spreading the disease. Article of clothing. Remember that. This is a test. This is how they will change the mask to vaccine. Right? They will change the mask to vaccine. Understand this. This is how you do it. You take a little, people sit down, they accept it, and then vaccine. Period. This is how it works. They don't come at you and bitch slap you with a vaccine. They come in simple. Texas needs to get on there. Texas needs to send out emails to their AG and say, I am being discriminated against this business that is operating in my state, and it discriminated against me from to be able to enjoy the benefits of their operation within my state, which is a violation of my constitutional right to be able to wear whatever I want. I am not going barefoot, which, by the way, just so you know, you can point this out too. You don't go barefoot into a store because then they're liable for a lawsuit if you step on glass. You can't go topless because, what if all the women went topless? We'd be distracted. So it's about indecent exposure. So there you have it. The mask, what does it do? It spreads disease. Why? Does it protect you from disease? Okay, show me on the box where it says that. Tell me why I can't sue the mask manufacturer if I get sick. Oh, because they don't fucking work. So that is simple. All you have to do is send an email. The AG of Texas responded to my email. He gave me a long, lengthy list of what I have to do with the Secretary of State of Texas. If you notice, Ohio is getting really hot under the collar. Tomorrow is that clown's deadline to give me the fucking escrow contract so I could take a look at it, because that's the smoking gun. So while we take care of elections, we also need to take care of our Constitution. I hope that this edited AI video lit some fire under your butts to understand, one, they're mocking you. They're mocking you. And 2, they've declared war on you. And you have to remember that. This is declare war. Okay? So on that note, you have to know that this indeed, guys, is total war. And what do we do about it? Do we sit around and let them? Do we let them do as they please? Do we allow them to dictate how we walk, talk, and think? I mean, I'll tell you what. There are people that are naturally terrified from this. Seriously. Seriously. They are. They're terrified. But it's okay. We win. God always wins. See you tomorrow, guys.
To the people, the good and the evil, this is war. To the soldier, the civilian, the martyr, the victim, this is war. It's a moment of truth and the moment to lie, and the moment to live and the moment to die, the moment to fight, the moment to fight, fight, to fight. To the right, to the left, we will fight to the death, to the edge of the earth. It's a brave new war from the last to the first. To the right, to the left, we will fight to the death, to the edge of the earth. It's a brave new world, it's a brave new world. Warning to the prophet, the liar, the honest, this is war. Oh, to the leader, the pariah, the victor, the messiah, this is war. It's the moment of truth and the moment to lie, and the moment to live and the moment to die, the moment to fight, the moment to fight, to fight, to fight. To the right, to the left, we will fight to the death, to the edge of the earth. It's a brave new war from the last to the first. To the right, to the left, we will fight to the death, to the edge of the earth. It's a brave new world, brave new world. To believe in the light, raise your hands into the sky. The fight is done, the war is won. Lift your hands toward the sky. To the left, we will fight to the death, to the edge of the earth. It's a brave new war from the last to the first. To the right, to the left, we will fight to the death, to the edge of the earth.